Hello students, I am here to explain you about Vijayanagara Empire. It is one of the chapter of history for 7th standard. Going thoroughly today under this chapter, I would like to give some information about it, how it has been came to introduce, how it has been founded. Introduction: the expedition which started during 13th century by Delhi Sultan Alauddin Khilji over South India continued in 14th century also. As a result, many South Indian kingdoms like Yadavas of Devgiri, Hoysalas of Devasamudra and many others were defeated. At this juncture, Vijayanagara succeeded in creating a strong political power as a solution for South India's political issue. It ruled for 3 centuries. It means here he ruled for 300 years. In this lesson, the dynasty which ruled Vijayanagara Empire are explained. Contributions of these kings to political, social, economic, literary, art and sculpture are also discussed. Battle of Talikota, Rakka Satangadi, which was Battle of Talikota, which was the main reason for the decline of Vijayanagara Empire and its effect also discussed here. Next, I will move towards Vijayanagara Empire. It was founded in 1336 CE on the southern bank of Tungabhadra river by the son of Sangama called Harihara Bukkaraya. They were also known as Hakka and Bukka. Kampana, Marappa, Muddappa, Hampi of Bellary was the capital of city of Bor, was the national emblem. Here I will show you the picture of national emblem of Vijayanagara Empire. Next, 4 dynasty rules under Vijayanagara Empire. They are Sangama dynasty till 1336 to 1485, Saluva dynasty from 1485 to 1505 CE, Tuluva dynasty 1505 to 1567 CE, Aravidu dynasty from 1570 to 1646 CE. Let us see one by one about these dynasties. Firstly, I would like to explain you about Sangama dynasty which ruled from 1336 to 1485. This dynasty was ruled by first Harihara and Bukka. These were 2 brothers. Harihara he ruled from 1336 to 1357 CE, was the first king of this dynasty. This dynasty is here Sangama dynasty. He took control over the regions of Tungabhadra river. He extended his army empire to Konkan coastal areas of the west, to Nellore and Kadapa of east, in the Krishna river of the north and Kaveri river of the south. Like this, he laid a strong foundation for his empire. Next, I would like to explain you about Bukkaraya, another brother. He ruled from 1357 to 1377. During his rule, his son Kampanna expanded the empire by defeating Sultan of Madurai. These points I will explain you first. This was explained in a book of Madura Vijayam, which was written by Kampanna's queen Ganga Devi. Here Kampanna's queen is nothing but wife of Kampanna's. Bukka captured Panakonda by defeating Reddis and few others adjoining areas. Here Shravana-Belgola inscription of 1368 CE explains that he pacified the conflict between Jains and Vaishnavas and maintained religious harmony and equality. Here I am talking about Bukkaraya. After Bukkaraya, many other kings was also ruled in this dynasty, that is Harihara II, Bukkaraya II, Virupaksha III, Devaraya I, Veera Vijayaraya, and ruled Vijayanagara Empire after Bukkaraya. Here now I would like to explain you about another important king, that is Devaraya II. He is also known as Prouda Devaraya. He ruled from 1424 to 1446. He built a new army including Muslims who were skilled in archery and horse taming. He defeated Reddy leaders of Konda-Vedu regions. He defended famous Mudugal fort, Raichur and Bankapur by fighting with Ahmad Shah of Bahmani Sultan. His famous commander Lakkanna Dandi Shah defeated the kings of Kerala and Sri Lanka and collected treasure and tribute cash from them. He built Jain, Vaishnavas temple and mosques in his capital. Telugu poet Srinatha, Sanskrit philosopher Dandima and Kannada poet and the minister Lakkanna Dandi Shah were patronized in this kingdom. Here patronized is nothing but they were treated equal, regular. They all were regular in his kingdom. Now, Persian ambassador, I would like to give you extra information about Devaraya II. That is, Persian ambassador Abdul Razzaq visited Vijayanagara kingdom during Prouda Devaraya period and stated, I have seen such a rich kingdom like Vijayanagara kingdom for the first time. The capital has 7 forts and the Raja's army has lakhs of soldiers. In his book, he said about Vijayanagara Empire, and Devaraya II also got the titles that he had the titles like Gaja Bentigara, Chatu Samudra Diswara, Airaya Vibhada. After his death in 1446 CE, his son Malika Arjun from 1446 to 1465 CE and then Virupaksha III 1465 to 1485 CE ruled Vijayanagara. These were weak rulers, and because of this, a strong commander Saluva Narasimha captured the capital. With this incident, the rule of Sangama dynasty ended in 1485. Next, the another dynasty is Saluva dynasty. It was ruled from 1585 to 1505. I will give you short information about nothing more important is there in this dynasty. After taking over the power in 1485 CE, Saluva Narasimha ruled for 6 years and died in 1491 CE. His children were minors when he died, and because of this, kingdom was in the protection of a commander called Tuluva Narasimha Nayak from 1491 to 1503 CE. This has been also ended. Next, another dynasty is Tuluva dynasty. It was ruled from 1505 to 1567 CE. It is also nothing more important. Let us see one of the important king is there in this dynasty. I would like to give some few information about Tuluva dynasty. It was started in 1505 CE. Veera Narasimha, son of Tuluva Narasimha Nayak, started the rule of Tuluva dynasty. After his death in 1505, his brother Krishna Devaraya, one of the important greatest king of South India, Krishna Devaraya came to power. Now I am going to explain you about this great king Krishna Devaraya. He ruled from 1505 to 1529 CE. He was the famous and greatest king among other Vijayanagara Empire kings. He won the Raichur fort. He supported Portuguese to capture Goa from Bijapur. He captured Kotak, the capital of Gajapati Prataparudra, a Kalinga king, by defeating him and married his daughter Jagan Mohini. Later he captured Kalaburgi and Bidar forts. He got released, son of king who was imprisoned by Bahmani prime minister, and resorted him to power in Bidar. For this he got the title that is Yamana Rajya Pratisthapanacharya. Domingo Pais, who visited one of the foreign visitor who visited this kingdom, stated Krishna Devaraya was a soft person with a strong body in his book. Now I would like to show you the map of Vijayanagara Empire. From where to where he ruled. This line showing from where to where Vijayanagara Empire were having the rules. They ruled this dynasty and which part of India they were ruling. Next, how it has been to an end. Ramaraya of Aravedu, son-in-law of Krishna Devaraya, ruled the kingdom. Rakasa Tangadi battle, it is also known as Talikota battle, was fought by Ramaraya and 5 Shahi dynasties in the year 1565. As a result of this, the Vijayanagara came into an end. I would like to explain you about this Talikota battle. Few important things and few important points in this chapter. After Krishna Devaraya Achyutaraya, he ruled from 1530 to 1542 CE, and Sadasiva Raya, he ruled from 1543 to 1565 CE, ruled Vijayanagara. Since Sadasiva Raya was a minor and unable to rule, Ramaraya of Aravedu dynasty, son-in-law of Krishna Devaraya, took the whole responsibility of administration. His diplomacy expanded Vijayanagara kingdom and made it rich. The number of enemies also increased. Next, I would like to explain you about cultural contribution of Vijayanagara Empire. That is, your first point is administration. King was the supreme leader. 1/6 of total revenue was collected as tax. Army, here they were having armies of infantry, cavalry, elephants. Means they are having horse soldier, people those who are fighting soldiers, which they are fighting with horses and which they are fighting with on their forts, and other elephant armies were also there in this dynasty. Next, I would like to explain another cultural contribution of Vijayanagara Empire, that is social status. Here in this child marriage, sati system and devdasi were in practice monogamy. Here now students, I would like to explain here, I am going to explain you is about social status. Few points is there. During Vijayanagara period, child marriage, sati system and devdasi system were in practice. Monogamy was in practice, but rich people and kings were following polygamy. Here monogamy is nothing but marrying one wife or husband, and polygamy is nothing but more than one wife or husband. Women were respected. Deepavali and Dashera festivals were celebrated grandly. Dashera festival was celebrated under the king's patronage. Next, economic status. Here agriculture was main occupation. Trade with other countries was also there. Golden coins were in use. Here I would like to explain some few important things in this economic status. Agriculture was the main occupation, as you know. Rice, maize, sugarcane and cotton crops were the major crops. Kings of Vijayanagara encouraged agriculture through building tanks and wells. This shows that how much they are giving importance to agriculture. They had trade links with other international countries for rice, cotton, clothes, iron, diamond, sugar, mugs, sandals and spices were exported. Horse, silk clothes, makmal clothes were imported. Vijayanagara was the international business center for diamonds. Cloth weaving was the important industry. Bhatkal, Honnavara, Mangaluru were the important ports. Golden coins were in use and the pictures of gods and goddesses were etched on these coins. This shows that how much they were rich. Next, I would like to explain you about art and architectures, how they were, and the sculpture. Great historians Percy Braun, on the observing the temples, monuments and sculptural statues, stated that art and sculpture of Vijayanagara Empire was the evolutionary form of Dravidian style. Here Dravidian style, we can say that they used to make the paintings with style. They used to make jewelries of that statues also. Their finishing was very quiet and very good. Here, the example of that art and architecture of Vijayanagara Empire, you can see here is Vidya Shankara Temple. It is in Srinagiri. Ganapati, that is in Hampi. Idols of Narasimha, it is in Hampi. Stone chariots, it is also in Hampi. These are the example that shows that how much they were giving importance to art and sculpture. Here, these are the temples of Vijayanagara Empire. During their period, they used to build the temples in a beautiful shape and in a Dravidian style. Now, for extra knowledge, I would like to say few important points on literature of Vijayanagara Empire. That is, during his period, literature, many of literature was there. Sanskrit, Telugu, and Kannada literature developed immensely. Next, very famous poets were also there. Very famous many famous peoples were also writing. Not only from outside, foreign literature was there, but also there were literature was written by the kings and their family members also. Here, Ganga Devi wrote Madhura Vijayam. It is also an example of their family members. She wrote that literature. Jambavati Kalyanam, Madalasa, Charitam, and Rasa Manjari, wrote by Krishna Deva Raya. These are the important, how this shows that how much they are giving importance to literature also. About religious harmony, I would like to say 2 points. That is, kings of Vijayanagara kingdom were great followers of religious tolerance. They built a mosque in their capital. The Shravana-Belgola inscription of 1368 CE tells us that Bukka Raya solved differences of opinions between Jains and Vaishnavas. Barbosa, who visited Vijayanagara during the reign of Krishna Deva Raya, stated that any Christians, Jew, Muslim, Hindu, or a person of any religion can live happily in Vijayanagara kingdom because this kingdom respects all. Thank you students for listening. Now I would like to give you some work so that it will shows how much importance you are giving to studies. Collect the information about more information about Vijayanagara Empire and their art and sculpture. Thank you.